All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Carol. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Um, this morning I'm gonna do something that I think I want to kind of incorporate. Don't know if I'm gonna do it every day. Don't know. I might just do it at the beginning of the week. Don't know. But one of the things that I do every morning is I have devotionals that I read. And I think I shared this before. Um, it's word of the day, devotional. It's a gift for me that I get from church. And they have just little bits of info. Um, you might call them, I don't call them affirmations, they're devotion. And a devotion is like a meditation, something you think about, read, and think about, have for yourself. And so every day I do this. And I said to myself, I think I want to present this to everybody to let them know kind of into my world and be transparent of what I do. Now, have I always did this? Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Hump Day. No, I haven't. But like I said, I went through a lot of things as a lot of people have. So just give you a little background. And let's see, what year is this? This is 24. So I'm going to say what's this? It's been so long, I don't even know. Maybe it's been 2 years, 3 years, 2 years. I had a very traumatic experience that kind of made me rethink as a parent, a mother, a daughter, a sister, um, just overall, who am I and where am I going and who do I need to be and what characteristics and person do I want to be known for? You know, we all have a legacy. So, in doing so, I started getting very committed in reading my devotions, making them applicable, intentionally doing these things in order for me to be a better person for me and for my family. Okay. All right. So, um, today's devotional, good morning, is this. And I'm going to read it to you because we're kind of going to talk about it. All right. That's my thought provoking today. All right. The scripture is Galatians 6:9, and it says this: let's not get tired of doing what is good. Okay. And so the topic for the devotion is keep going and you will succeed. In life, you're going to have all kinds of problems. So, what should you do? Persevere. No matter what's going on in your life, the victory is in refusing to quit. Keep in mind that in the heat of your struggles, the Holy Spirit is often doing his greatest within you. Paul writes, we also glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulations produces perseverance and perseverance character. All right, that's Romans 5:3 and 4. God is not moved by circumstances, and you must not be either. Isn't that something? God is not moved, and you must not be either. All right. He will lead you through anything if you will just hang in there and follow him. This means being diligent in prayer, relentless in your resolve, unwavering in faith, and determined to stand firmly on God's word and his promises to you. Don't be sidetracked by how slowly things seem to be going at the moment. When you're in the not much seems to be happening phase, that's often when God is laying a strong foundation in order to build something significant in you and through you. The Lord's work in you is preparation for the work he wants to do through you. When life seems hard and progress seems too slow, ask God to help you remain steadfast. He will do it. Here are two scriptures you can stand on today. Let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Galatians 6:9. So, my dear brother and sisters, be strong and immovable. Always work enthusiastically for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is ever useless. And that's 1 Corinthians 15:58. So when I read that, I said, hey, okay. I like it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I like it. It says keep going and you will succeed, right? So on today, which is Sister Pooh already pointed out that it's hump day, but I like to call this Wisdom Wednesday. So today on Wisdom Wednesday, I ask you this question. Um, have you made space in your life for what you want? Have you made space in your life for what you want? Keep in mind what I just read, the devotion today. Keep going and you will succeed. A lot of times we ask for stuff, right? We pray about stuff. We ask for things. We want these doors open. We want to be able to move. Good morning, Sister Dugga. Good morning. Good morning. We ask for things. We want to get things going. We want all of this stuff to happen for us. But the question of today on Wisdom Wednesday, have you made space in your life for what you want? Have you? Asking everyone, have you made space in your life for what you want? Because we ask for a lot of stuff, right? We ask for a lot of things, but have we made space for the things that we're asking for? You have to make space. You have to make space for the things that you are asking for. Look here. We have to let go of what's not serving us. That's the first thing. All right. That's the first thing we have to do. We have to let go of things that are not serving us. Yesterday, we talked about that sign of being do not disturb, right? And in essence, we have to let go. Good morning. Good morning, Annie. Good morning. Good morning. The question today for who's just now joining. I did read a devotional today, which is keep going and you will succeed. If you want to listen to it, you got to play it back and listen to it. Good devotion. Keep going if you will succeed. But the question today is, have you made space in your life for what you want? And I was just getting to how you have to let go of what's not serving you. Okay? Consider what you're spending your time on. And if it doesn't align, you got to let it go. All right? It goes back to us in our Mindset Mondays. We have to stop giving time to things that are not going to give us growth. It's not going to give us growth. We gotta let go of what's not serving us. We gotta let it go. Okay. We got to let it go. All right. We also have to stop spending time on things that doesn't align with our values or where we're going. And so, Sister Pooh, you're saying, no, you have not made space. Is that what you're saying to the question today? Have you made space in your life for what you want? And if you haven't, here are some tips that I'm giving right now, Sister Pooh, that you can make space for things. Okay. So one thing is we got to let go of what's not serving us. Okay. We got to do that. We got to let go of what's not serving us. All right. Then we have to consider what we're spending our time on. And then if it aligns with our values, does it align with us? Do we need to be spending time on it? Is it going to make me a better person? Is it going to grow me where I need to go? No, I have not, honestly, is the best policy. And no, I have not. Yes, honesty is the best policy. And I'm going to tell you this, being transparent, I don't think I have either. In some areas where I have asked for growth and what I want to grow in, have I made space for it? I don't think I have. I think sometimes fear can keep us from that as well. Okay. Also, if something is serving you today, will it serve you in the future? Sometimes we ask for things and things come along. We go, oh, this is really great. I really didn't know I needed this. And is it serving you right now? Which is good because you want to be served right now. But is it going to serve you down the road? So what's serving you today? Is it going to be needed for the future? Do you really need it? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. I'm not going to answer it for you because this is personal, but I'm just giving you tips to think about. I'm giving you those thoughts and things to think of and think about. I'm giving you tips to think of and think about. Is it something that you really, 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 really are going to use later on? Something to think about. Create physical space. Create physical space, Carol? Yeah, create physical space. Remove non-essential items. You know what non-essential items is. Things that are not needed. Remove non-essential items. It says we have to make space for what we want. And if you have not made space for, that's like if you're looking for a new refrigerator. If you got an old refrigerator, where you gonna put the new one at? That can be called momentary fulfillment. Yeah, it can be. It can be. But it says if something served you today, will it serve you in the future? You know, and what that means to me, now for me, I'm going with what you're saying. That can be called momentary fulfillment. But for me, what that means is if I'm have something that I needed or wanted at that very moment and I'm using it. Sometimes we just keep using it, right? We don't know how to let go of it. We just keep using it. We don't know how to let go of it. We continue to keep just not letting go of it. And it's not needed. Sometimes it's not needed. It is fulfilling that moment, but when that moment has passed, we still hold on to it. And I think that's where the problem comes in. And so I agree with you with the momentary fulfillment. But what happens is the moment is gone and we still hold on to it. We still hold on to it. We got to, kind of let it go. Kind of let it go. Kind of let it go. We have to create physical space. Okay. We got to remove those non-essentials out of our life. All right. And here's the thing about that. Sometimes we need to grow in areas and we're still holding on to past things. Yeah. We got to let the past go. If you, for example, if you're going through something and somebody says, well, how was so-and-so? If you know that you in a situation or going through something with someone and someone comes up and doesn't know and they say to you, hey, what's going on with the and your first reaction is, I don't deal with that person no more, or me and that person ain't even seeing eye to eye, then you got to remove those non-essential items out of your life. You got to let some of that stuff go. Let it go. It's going to be okay. Yes, moments get confused with seasons. Yes, they do. And when those moments get confused with seasons, we gotta get some changing going here. Okay. We're talking about, have you made space? Good morning. Good morning. Have you made space in your life for what you want? Okay. So that's another thing. Then guess what we got to do? We got to set boundaries. We got to set boundaries. Yes. And it's okay. We got to set boundaries. It goes to something that Sister Pooh, who and I think it's just the Libra in us. So don't get me wrong. Don't think, I just think it's the Libras in us. When I say, she said, oh, good morning, husband. Good morning. When she said this, she said sometimes we overextend ourselves. We overextend ourselves and then we don't want to be bothered. However, if we set boundaries, we don't have to worry about overextension. If we set boundaries, we don't have to worry about overextension. All right. So we have to set boundaries for our time and our obligations. And it's okay. You know that word that starts with the N and ends with the O. It's okay to use that word because at times we need to. Again, we're talking about, have you made space in your life for what you want? All right. So we're going over those things. All right. And so we have to set boundaries. Set those boundaries. It's okay. Say no. Don't overextend. We're not going to be overextending anything. Okay. That's something that we have to do. All right. And then we have to make time for ourselves. We have to make time for ourselves. We have to. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. Did I get it right? My Puerto Rican Prince Queen. Good morning. Buenos dias. I think I got it right this time. We have to make time. We have to set time for ourselves. Good morning. Good morning. For people who are just joining, I always do this when I see a new face pops in or a new name pop up. I just want to let you know our question and our thought-provoking time today is talking about, have you made space in your life for what you want? Have you made space in your life for what you want? The B word. What's the B word? Boundaries. Yes, boundaries is the B word. Yes, buenos dias. I said it right. Thank you. And the B word is boundaries. So we're talking about, have we made space? Here are some things that we can do to make space for what we want. First, we have to let go of what's not serving us. We got to let it go, people. We got to let it go. If it ain't serving us, We have to let it go. Okay, we talked about that. What is that? Momentary fulfillment. Yeah, the moment is gone and we still holding on to stuff. We got to let it go. Okay, and if something is serving you now, will it serve you later? If it's not, then we have to, that's just like Christmas time. We put up a Christmas tree for Christmas time, right? For those who celebrate Christmas, we put up Christmas trees, Hanukkah, whatever it is you're doing, Kwanzaa, whatever. We put the things up for whatever we celebrate, but we don't keep it up all year long. Because if we do, why? What is the purpose it's serving? So we take them down. Okay, each season has something. We celebrate it. We put it up. We take it down. All right. So we got to remember that. We have to create physical space. That means we have to remove non-essential items, okay? We have to remove those non-essential items out of our life. Out of our life. I just gave an example. If you're going through something, a circumstance, a situation with a person at work, maybe it's finances, anything. If someone comes to you and says to you, remember, we're moving non-essential items out, things that you do not need. And if you don't need them, remove them. Remove them. Non-essential items, they don't belong in your life. And I'm gonna tell you one of the non-essential items that people have in their life that they it's hard for them to get rid of. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready to hear it? Unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. People hold that around like it is the Statue of Liberty. Unforgiveness. That is a non-essential thing you don't need in your life. And I'm going to tell you something else about unforgiveness. It causes stress. You hold on to that trauma. You hold on to all that stuff, triggers. People carrying that around, triggers. That's a non-essential item. And I'm not beating up on folks that have been through things. But what I'm saying is at some point, we have to start getting the load off of us. We have to start letting that load kind of go. If that song Erykah Badu, Back Lady, you gon' hurt your back. Yeah, a lot of us are hurting our backs because we're dragging a whole bunch of bags that we do not need. Okay, hold on to it better than you hold on to the cross. Look here, baby, you better tell it, because you have to. Those non-essential items in our lives, we don't need them. It's just a whole bunch of extra bags, and it makes your back hurt, and your legs hurt, and your feet hurt, and your gait not steady, and you can't walk right. And you ain't got that sexy walk either. And you ain't got that swag walk for the men. All right? All right. It will put you in an early grave. Okay. So we gotta remember we gotta remove non-essential items out of our life. We have to set boundaries on our time and our obligation. All right. We have to make time for ourselves. Make time for yourself. Okay. Let me tell you something. One of the best things I've learned is making time for myself, learning what I want and what I want to do at that time to regroup. And it's okay. And it's okay. And it's okay. Just time for yourself. My new thing, I picked up what everybody else is saying. People call me and say, what you doing? I go laying in the bed, rubbing these feet together. Okay. Watch baby SVU or a cooking show. If you know me, then you know me. All right. I'm watching a crime show, trying to solve it with them like I'm in the movie or something. I'm helping them solve it. So that's what I do. Sometimes in the morning, I like to meditate, read my devotional, like I shared with y'all this morning. If you want to hear the devotional, you got to rewind and go back and watch. But these are things I do for myself, to regroup for myself, to stay in a space and make space for what I want and what I've asked for. Okay. All right. You can meditate, clear your mind, clear it all out. We go. Yes, honey. Me time, Sister Duggar. Me time. Me time. I love that word too. Let me tell you, that's my word. Me time. I say in a minute, it is time for me time. And whatever it is that you do for me time. A lot of times I run me a bubble bath. I like to soak. Sit in there, read some books while I'm soaking. Sometimes I put on a little YouTube and listen to some messages, some uplifting things to hear about. Yeah, because watching the news and just living in the world today, you'll be depressed. You can be depressed. I get it. I get it. All right. We have to practice intentionality. We have to practice being intentional. We do. We have to practice being intentional, y'all. Come on now. Come on. How do we make space? How do we make space for what we want? We have to intentionally do things. We have to. Because if you don't intentionally do it, you procrastinate. That's not a way to preserve. Procrastination doesn't belong there. We're not looking for that. And so you have to practice intentionality. You have to practice being intentional. You know, you have to be intentional. Be intentionally nice. Say something intentionally good. hmm hmm Think positive talk. Yes. Love a bath, Sister Pooh. Pour into yourself. Yes, yes. And we have to intentionally do these things. Okay. We have to intentionally do these things. All right. Creating space in life can lead to great fulfillment. All right. When you ask for what you want and you create space for what you want and you're waiting on it, it creates a fulfillment. All right, because you know what you've asked for, and you know that you remove the things that were not needed in order to receive what you're asking for. And it makes you feel better. Not only does it make you feel better, it intentionally grows you into another level. All right, all right. And that's what it's all about, growth. And when people think of growth, I want you all to know a lot of times people think of finances. Hey, I'm all for it. Everybody, I want everybody finances, mine, yours, and everything else. Yes, candle, bubble bath, rose petals, Epsom salt, Dr. Scholl's, the whole nine. That's it. Meditate, get it all in for yourself. But when you grow mentally and spiritually and emotionally, that is something to pat yourself on the back for too. You know, everybody always talk about financing, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I want some money too. But in those other areas of growth, those are showing character. Those are showing character for you as well. Okay. So, hey, have you made space in your life for what you want? Have you? Have you made space in your life for you what you want? If you haven't, if you haven't, we went over some tips today on how to create that space. All right, for what you want. And I guarantee that it does work, especially that intentionality. We have to be intentional on things. We have to be intentional on things. All right. Thank you guys for joining me on today with Coffee and Conversation with Carol, where every day I come to you 30 minutes of thought-provoking questions, engagement, giving hope, and try to just shed a little light on your life. All right. Today's affirmation, which is October 23rd. I know Libra season is coming to an end and we bringing in them Scorpios. Them Scorpios. I call them them Scorpios can be something else. Ain't they? A little loony. A little loony. But the affirmation for today is successful people do whatever it takes to get the job done, whether or not they feel like it. All right. Successful people do. And I tell my children this all the time. Circumstances, situations are going to make made space and making space. I love that. Made space and making space. Thank you, Sister Duggar, for that. Thank you. So yes, successful people do whatever it takes to get the job done, whether they feel like it or not. And that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do when we're making this space, the made space and making spaces. We have to do whatever it is, whether we feel like it or not. We have to. All right. Think about it. Think about it. We have to. So thank you guys for joining me on today. I appreciate it. I thank you for your support. I really do. And Coffee and Conversations with Carol. Thanks you too. Thanks you too. All right. All right. Tomorrow is Thursday. You thought it, I said it. So if you're thinking of anything, go ahead and inbox your girl. You can inbox me on Facebook. You can inbox me on Instagram, or you can send me a notification on YouTube, or you can check me out on TikTok as well. And like I said, I'm working on some things, but I will be going live on TikTok soon. Things will happen and there's nothing you can do about it. But what you have control over is how you react to it. Your response is always, Sister Narima, your response is always what people see. And so in it, I think too, your response helps the person. I know for me, my response helps me. And if I respond in a way that I am not proud of, then I find myself having to walk back and go apologize for it. So when things happen in your life and there's nothing you can do about it or have control over it, what I do is I pray about it and I keep moving, because I know that it ain't stopped. If I'm waking up every morning, it ain't stopped. And so I can't focus there. I have to keep on moving. But again, you have to make that space in your life for what you want. You know, you have to make that space. And sometimes, I'm going to say this before I get off of here. Sometimes those spaces, people create them anyway. You know, you may not wanted it, but it was, hey, it was the card you were dealt. So with that being said, then that's where those set those boundaries. And that's where you, if it's not serving you, you got to let it go. You know, it may have worked for the moment, but it's not working now. So hey, it worked for that moment. That moment is gone. Future is coming. So let's create space for future endeavors. All right. And that's what we have to practice intentionally. Intentionality. That's what we have to practice. So I thank you guys again for joining me. Tomorrow is Thursday. You thought it, I said it. That is where I do a little spin on Dear Abby. That means if you having a situation or you have a question, anything that's going on, you can inbox it to me. I kind of clean it up, try to find some answers to it, and then I bring it to everybody so that we all can talk about it. How about that? I want you guys to continue to live, love, never ever stop laughing. Always find room to forgive and to be forgiven, because ain't none of us perfect. No, not one. Ain't none of us perfect. And then I want you all to remember to love. One love. We all need some love, right? I love loves. I love hugs. I love a little love. All right. I love you. I love you. I want you guys to have a great hump day, wisdom Wednesday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30. Thank you for joining me. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me.